Welcome back to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. Super excited for this one. We've been working on getting this one together for about, let's say about a year now.
Dude, it's been over. It's probably been like 2 years.
Then you would show. Then we'd have a date set, and then I'm busy, and then we talk on the phone every single day. So now we're just kind of doing it via podcast style. But today, one of my first business partners been with me pretty much since day one. So, Dylan Deal, welcome to the show, brother.
I appreciate you having me, Jonas. I'm honored to be here, man. It's crazy how much we've come along since 2020, 21. I remember sitting in the hot tub in Appleton 5, 6 years ago, like, you know, this is our 1-year goal, our 3-year goal, our 5-year goal, and we're up to 17 branches now, and we were just at one the other day.
Pretty wild, eh?
It's crazy. It's been a journey, man.
Yeah, and I think just sitting in those early days, you and I and James, Matt, the OGs from day one, just like casting the vision. Like, this is our goal. This is what we're doing. Just like you said, I said, this is just year one. Imagine what 5 years is going to look like. And then I said that to you on the phone just the other day. Like, we're on our 5th year only. Imagine what the next 5 years is going to look like. If we can do half of what we did, which we will, because momentum on our side, the next 5 years are going to be absolutely incredible. And as you and I know, there's a lot of stuff coming in the pipeline that we've been working on. There's some really big stuff coming.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. Dude, who knows where we're gonna be at in 5 years? Like, we're at 17. I'd say probably be at 50 branches.
I would think so. Maybe more. We'll see what happens. Same thing you and I kind of talked about the podcast. Was that yesterday, day before, whenever we were on the phone? Just like, I think you said you were like in Marquette. It was snowing out, and I was just starting the podcast. And you're like, it felt like just a year ago.
Yeah, like when you started, what, 2 years ago? So yeah, like you started, yeah, 2 years ago. Was it like 23? That's when you first started with James on your
Yeah,
first
probably
podcast.
something like that. I think I would say like we're at 160 episodes, and I do one a week. So let's say 2.5 years.
And you were just testing things out, and like look where you are now, bro. Like, good for you.
But that's just like anything, though. Like, as you know, just staying committed and just showing up when you say you're going to show up, and that's just the hardest part is just showing up every single day. As you know, just like with work, it's consistency. Everyone's like, "Oh, you guys just blew up out of nowhere." Well, kind of, but we work our ass off, which you know.
Yeah. Oh,
And I've
absolutely.
been doing this for I think 17 years total. So it's not like it just happened overnight. But it's like, oh, it's like overnight success. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't make shit for money the first 6 years. You know what I mean? And then the same thing with you. Like, you were one of the special ones. Obviously, that's why you're here still. But I still remember it. I'll let you tell the story, but so I won't ruin it. But um, let's just kind of rewind. Let's go back to high school days. I always like to start the podcast out with Dylan, and Jonas Olson, friends in high school. Who is Dylan Deal as like a junior in high school?
Say junior year of high school. So I was an athlete, that's for sure. I was involved in sports, so I had to pick between football and soccer my freshman year because they're during the same season. So I stuck with soccer just because I thought I'd have more of an opportunity there going forward than football. So I was an athlete. Um, I was pretty outgoing, social. Within my friend group, let's hang out with my sport athletes for the most part. I was also in Boy Scouts too, so I don't know if you knew that, but I was a Boy Scout.
Did you get up to Eagle Scout?
I didn't, honestly. I was up to life, and I didn't. All I had to do was finish my Eagle project. What's to say, sports and video games and girls got more involved than wanting to finish that.
Those damn girls. They always get in the way.
Yeah. Grade wise, I'd say I'd probably around like if I remember graduate like between 2.8 to 3.0 somewhere in there. Um, I wasn't like the smartest person. I didn't like try, but I had more common sense than book smarts. Like my stepsisters, they always were 4.0 students. I'm over here at a 2.8, 3.0.
Mhm.
Um,
I just didn't really care about school either, though. It's just like I was only there for the girls and the sports.
yeah, I didn't really pay attention as much. I was more focused on other things and then my schoolwork. I also I worked a lot during my high school, so like not only went to like, I not only played sports, but I worked. I was driving like 3 miles to my first job when I was 14, 15 years old. I worked on a strawberry farm.
Me too. I got fired.
Well, I didn't get fired, but I was like 14, 15 years old riding like 3 miles to a strawberry farm, and I think they paid you by like how much
The
you would
bushel.
pick.
Yeah, it's like by
Yeah,
weight.
man.
It's by
Yeah, by
weight.
weight. That was my very first job.
That's the very first job too. Is the only job I ever get fired from, and I didn't even get fired from like because of doing anything bad. I just got into like an argument with like the manager. The manager's like a year older than me, so I was like a freshman in high school, and she was a sophomore, and we went to school together. And she was like trying to tell me what to do. I'm like, I'm not listening to you. Like, I remember what she said still, which is so dumb. She said, I could make your life a living hell here. Like, when I was 14 years old, and she's telling me this on the strawberry. And as you know me, that just didn't sit well with me then. It still wouldn't sit with me now today. I'm like, well, I could make your life a living hell too. And nothing even happened the rest of the day. That was the only thing that was said. And then I maybe I probably ate a few of the strawberries. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, who didn't?
Right.
It
And
was
then like I remember coming in like the next day, and they were telling me that they were paying me out for the rest of my day there, and that I was fired for putting rocks in my strawberries. I'm like, it's definitely something Devin would do, but is
oh
that
for sure
it's
that was
not something
something
that
Devin
I
would do.
it's not something that I did, and I know for sure, but I was 14, I don't really care. But that's the only job I've ever been fired from, so that's kind of funny. So look at that, we have that in common.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that about you
awesome.
either.
That was my first job, and then junior year I started working at a place called Mancino's. I don't know if you heard of them, pizza and grinder place. I did that for a couple years, while I was in high school too. While you know, doing soccer all year round, so I was constantly in track, ran track. I was all conference, in both those sports. Um, but yeah, I worked at Mancino's for a couple years, and yeah, just did a year of college after that,
Mhm.
and I joined the military, joined the Marines from there.
Yeah, what was the reason for you wanting to join the military back then? Do you remember? Like, did you not have a direction which way to go, or was
I
this
didn't
like
really
a
have a
school thing?
direction. It was like, you're 18, you just get out of high school and you try to figure out like what you really want to do in life.
Right.
And
And none of us
at the
know.
time, yeah, nobody really knows. Like at the time I went to school, I wanted to be like a nurse, a dentist maybe. I didn't have really a clue. I was talking with some of my buddies that were going in the military, and I was like, I thought it sounded interesting, and then they had me meet up with a recruiter, and they asked me like what I'd like to do for fun. And at the time, I always liked to mess around with fireworks. So, um, yeah, I like to blow shit up. Let's put it that way. So they're like, "Oh, I got a perfect job for you. Oh, 341." I'm like, "What the hell is that?" They're like, "It's a mortarman." I was like, "Yeah, sign me up. Sounds good." I got really motivated by like the Marine Corps commercials too. I don't know if you ever seen them online or on TV. It always motivated me too, so I always wanted to like serve my country and help other people out
It's
because
funny that you mentioned that because how often do you see that now?
not I mean, I see it because I notice it because I don't know if you do. I notice it, but it used to be a lot more, I feel like.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree because I don't ever see it, but maybe it's got you in the algorithm and it doesn't have me.
yeah, it's because I was clicking on stuff as a young kid, like looking, searching that stuff. So, uh, yeah, so I just wanted to blow shit up and serve my country, and I did that for 6 years.
Yeah. What was your experience like with the Marines? I was too much of I was too much of a wuss. Like, I never really wanted to leave home, and like I was always scared as hell to go over there. And so I respect you a lot for doing that, and obviously for serving the country. But what was your experience like?
Obviously, like leaving, and it's not never easy for anyone just to leave, but like I had a split family growing up, so I was kind of used to the movement. So, um, so yeah, like just joining, it taught me a lot about hard work and discipline and adapting and overcoming situations. If something happens, don't panic about it. Like there's always a way to get around it. So that's like what I move forward with is adapting and overcoming any situation that I run into even now, because I know I can get through it. Sometimes it's a little harder than some situations. So
For sure. Hold up, quick pause. If you're on a pest control company or fertilization weed control company, you're not in our Facebook group, you're choosing the harder path. Every operator that's in there is skipping years of mistakes because people are actually sharing what's working right now. So stop trying to brute force your way through growth alone. Search Pest Control Millionaires on Facebook or click the link below. And now let's get back to it. What's like the most memorable moment or that you have from the Marines?
Ooh, like boot camp for sure. I mean, I got fucked up in boot camp.
Did you?
Um, yeah, there's a lot of memories. Just tell you, anytime you fucked up in boot camp, like you, they would singly handle like pick you out, be like, "Yo, deal, you messed up. Say you messed up on I don't know drill or you didn't make your bed correctly." Well, they would pick on you for a good week, and every time at like 6 or was it 5:36 in the morning, I'd be the first one they'd wake up, okay, and I'd have to go up and to the front of the barracks in front of all the other Marines there. There's like 70 in our platoon there, and they made me do push-ups, mountain climbers, sit-ups, jumping jacks until I pretty much was crying.
Is the hardest was the hardest part of the Marines boot camp? Is it easier after that?
I would say probably yeah, just because you're put through a test of drills and
Yeah, they're testing your will, you
hiking,
know?
yeah, your will, your mental toughness, like, yeah, like you just kind of get thrown into it. Like you don't know what you're really expecting until you actually do it. So that was probably the hardest by far. I mean, I look back on it now, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I got to do all that because I want to be who I am today without going through all that.
Yeah, so then you're 6 years in, and then you have a choice, like, okay, in 14 more years, you could have been retired, or you could just leave and start a new life. What was the like, that must have been a tough decision too, but what made you leave?
So like obviously, I should have said this in the beginning. Like I was active my first couple years, but I was mainly reserves the last 4. So I was working from home and going to drill on the weekends. So I wasn't like a full-time Marine. Um, so like it was really difficult having to go every single month from the UP down to Grand Rapids. And that's the big reason why I got out was the travel time. And then we'd be gone for a couple weeks and it just interfere with a lot of family and stuff going on, especially when you're getting more involved with life.
Yeah, for sure. Gotcha. And then how do you find knocking doors for your first gig? How do you find that?
How did I find knocking doors? Like,
Yeah,
you're talking about, like,
yeah, how did you find Kirby? How did Kirby find you?
did you want me to explain, like, what I did after the Marines?
Sure.
From, like
Whatever you want to share, Dylan.
yeah, so from the Marine Corps, I went to, school when I was still in the Marines, for criminal justice. So I did 2 years at Baker, um, went to school to, get my associate's degree in criminal justice. Um, I was ready to make money, so the Department of Corrections actually got a hold of me first because I was, either gonna be a state trooper or work for a corrections officer.
And you come from a military background, it's kind of
Yep,
fitting, you know.
yep,
Your stepdad is a firefighter, right?
yep, yep, he's the fire chief, yep. So, like, kinda lined up, so yeah, I joined the Michigan Department of Corrections, um, right after I finished kinda school. I was ready to make money, I was tired of being a broke college kid, and, yeah, I did that for a couple years. I worked at a state prison up in the UP.
How was that?
Um, that was different, that's for sure. You felt like a professional babysitter more than anything, and it wasn't, like, super hard work, it's just kinda I don't know, you just feel like you're not, like, really bettering yourself, like, you're just around convicts all day.
Right. It's gotta be mentally tough to deal with that day to day.
Yeah, it's like you see all these, like, corrections officers now, they're on antidepressants, which I was on for a couple months after, I left there just because it kinda mentally fucked with your head. Like, you don't really realize what it can actually do long-term damage because you're there working your 8-hour shift, and then we're so short on staff that you're getting mandated for another 8 hours, so you're stuck there for 16 hours. And I was getting mandated, like, between 2 to 3 times a week, having kids, having a family, like, that wears on you over time, and then when I got out of the military, like, uh, I wasn't coming home seeing my family or anything, like, I just, you know, started becoming a different person or started becoming really negative. Like, it was really affecting me long term, and obviously, yeah, I just made a stupid choice and got out of that, and I'm the best thing I ever did was get away from that.
Right. I agree. So then like, did you see that career as like, as a young kid, even even when you're 19, 20, you get the job, did you see corrections as being like your end all be all to life? Like, is that what you wanted to do?
No, because correction if they would've had, like, a pension, I probably might have, like, thought about a long-term career, but they got rid of that back in, like, '98, and everybody has a 401k, 457, so you can pretty much get that anywhere. We obviously offer that here, so it's like, why would you wanna stick yourself in that situation for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Again, you're working, and like, there's probably some cool people in there that you get to
Oh,
see,
there
but
was a lot of cool people I worked with, like, I love the people I worked with, it's just mentally, it fucks with your head over
yeah,
time,
and I
like
mean, you're seeing the things you hear, the things you see on a day to day basis, the fight, the negativity, like it's just got to
yeah,
be,
having to tase people,
yeah,
gas people,
yeah.
see I literally I had to go to court, watch someone get murdered, like, it happened in the cell. I was the first person to make contact with, the guy that just killed the person inside the cell because that was during shift change, and it's like, I had to, like, record this guy in a holding cell, and he's admitting to me everything what he did on camera, so it's like, this guy just killed someone, it's fucking crazy, like, this stuff that, you know, you're not gonna see much outside. Inside's completely different. Um, but yeah, mentally, I don't suggest that job for anyone long term, unless they bring a pension back and do have better benefits. I would never recommend that for anyone.
Yeah, it's tough. But obviously we need,
Yeah, we need corrections officer. It takes us. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I applaud all of them and I respect all of them because it's not easy.
yeah. So then you leave there, and then how do you find, or again, how do you find Kirby? How does Kirby find
Kirby,
you?
yeah. So like so I left there. I did construction for a little bit. So I was plowing in the UP. Obviously, you know how it is with plowing, it sucks.
Sure do,
Waking up at
especially
3, 4 in
Marquette.
the morning, yeah, 3, 4 in the morning, going to measure to make sure if there's 2 inches of snow, you're out there plowing.
That's easy for you to
Um,
measure.
yeah. Um, but, yeah, I did construction there for a little bit, and then I was like, "I'm not gonna do this my whole life, there's no way." And then I found this thing on Indeed, it was called RJ Distributing, didn't know what it was, and I applied for that on Indeed, and I showed up, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and all of a sudden this guy, his name is Ryan, obviously, as you know who Ryan is. He pulled out this, vacuum, and he's doing this presentation, and I'm like, "You're gonna be going to door to door to sell that." Obviously, he taught me, what how to set it up together and explain how it all works. But like we didn't have like a lot of training to, like what we do now. But yeah, I did. That's how I got into sales is doing door to door for Kirby.
So you just show up. He shows you this vacuum and says, "Hey, this is a vacuum. You got to go sell this $3,000 vacuum."
Yep, pretty much. I mean, he obviously we had like a day or two of training how to set it up and explain how it works and compare it to other vacuums. So like
So
you have your
which
Kirby.
vacuum is better, Kirby or Rainbow?
Don't even get me in started, all right? The only good thing about Rainbow is it smells. They have that filtration system that makes the room smell good, okay? You have to carry uh big ass rainbow that's filled with water and have to dump it. And if you don't dump it, it gets all stinky and moldy.
It's an
So, and
inside
yes,
joke for
Kirby's
the.
are heavy. Yeah, don't get me
It's an
started.
inside joke for all the listeners because we always just give them a hard time. And then there's a girl that works in our office that sold uh,
Rainbow.
Rainbow, and so they kind of go back and forth. So it's super funny. But we talk about vacuums for years. But yeah, so then uh, I'll let you tell the story. Go ahead from
But
there.
yeah, just we went out my first time going out with Ryan, which was my boss at the time. Ryan Halfley, shout to Ryan. Um, yeah, we knocked our first door. Okay, I was with him. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Brand new to the sales. Did have zero experience. We ended up not. I ended up knocking it, and at first he opens the doors and he says, "Fuck off." So that was my first experience on the door. Fuck off. So I was like, oh wow, this is not what I expected at
And you're
all.
in Marquette at the time.
I'm in Ishpeming. Yeah, I'm out in Ishpeming. This was my first. Yeah, and this was February of 2020. So this is like a month before the actual shutdown. Like Yeah.
Yeah, because Maisie's birthday is March 16th, and that we were going out of town that weekend to go to Tundra Lodge to stay there, and then that's when they shut it down. It was like the day before her birthday.
Yeah, so I did that for a while, and I that first month and a half, like, I was doing really well for, just getting into sales, like, I'm selling $3,000 vacuums, running credit reports, making anywhere between 8 grand or not, geez, 800 to 1,500 a week, I was doing pretty solid, for I thought for sales, I was like, "Oh, this is something different." Um, but yeah, during the pandemic, like, when that stuff came out, like, people were, like, scared. Like, I remember getting inside of a lady's house and then doing her demonstration, and she's, like, in her 70s or whatever, and, her son ended up coming over and freaking out on me because, like, the pandemic was a huge thing, like, we shouldn't have been there. He was all, like, worried about, COVID and everything, and
Yeah,
I
especially
get
those
it.
first few months, like that March, April, May.
Everybody
Yeah.
was in panic, and after that, me and Ryan are like, "Yeah, I don't know if we can, continue to do this." So we shut down for a couple months from, like, middle of March, end of March there till I wanna say June, July is when we started going back out again. But yeah, we were shut down for a couple months. Um, and then yeah, I did that, um, pretty much all the way up until I pretty much ran into you. I wanna say ran into you.
Yeah, I get this call from my old office manager. Yeah, and she's like, "Hey, there's this guy who's in the Marines. He says that he wants to come in for an interview." I'm like, "Okay, I mean, sure, let's test it out." Dylan shows up, shirt and tie. Um,
Well,
and I
I was all dressed up.
Yeah,
I was ready.
and I still remember. And then there's one other person that I hired. His name's Kyle Robinette instead of a guy. Shout out to Kyle for listening. Kyle works at the Mill Paper Mill now. Awesome dude. Good friend of mine still worked for me for like 7 years. Great dude. He's another person that showed up in a shirt and tie. So like I always have this thing like someone shows up in a shirt and tie. I've always had a really good experience with that in our industry. And then I remember you coming in. I think we were selling in. Were we selling in Marquette
You
or were we
Nope,
selling in Escanaba?
you guys had just got back from getting your face kicked in Arizona because you guys were learning the market out there, and I showed up that first day,
You
did
dropped
my interview with
6.
you. Yeah, well, I didn't drop yeah. So the first day, I obviously did the interview. Second day, I came back, I shadowed James for an hour, and I shadowed Matt, and I picked up a lot within those first couple hours, just from them, and then me going back home and trying to pitch practice with Sarah, like, that's literally what I did that night just to get better, because trying to remember everything within 24 to 40 hours, it's hard.
He's like, "What?" He's like, You were like, "You can sell." Like, first of all, you didn't know what pest control was,
No,
and second of
I
all,
didn't
you're
have a
like,
clue.
"You gonna sell pest control on the like door to
Like,
door?"
door
He's
to
like,
door, yeah, I was like, "This is something different."
"Yeah."
Well, yeah, it was April of 2021 was my first store. I want to say it was like April 14th. It's weird. I remember that date. Went out by myself, and not gonna lie, I remember riding with Matt and James, and they dropped me off like in a little neighborhood in Gladstone, up in the bluff somewhere up there. And I walked to my first door. I could feel my heart beating out of my chest. Like, dude, it was like an experience I haven't had since that first door I knocked with you guys. And I felt like my throat was closing up. I was like, oh man, this is here we go. This is hard. And I could barely get the pitch out. And I messed up my first door. Like I completely fucked it up. Second door I knocked was a sweet old lady. I was like, oh man, these are my people here. I've always been like a grandma's boy, know how to talk to older people. And I ended up selling her. And then I finished with 6 that day. And y'all thought I was full of shit.
I mean, well, because you're just used to seeing like
Not you,
guys.
but you're like,
Yeah, but like Matt and James, like, dude, there's something like, hey, you got to watch this guy. Something's up. Like, but I mean, that's like most people, like anyone in this industry that knows when a rookie comes out and drops 6 a day, like,
yeah,
okay,
it's not normal.
it's like, wait, okay, what's going on? Is he selling one time? He's not getting them to sign the agreement. And they're all like, so I get calls like James and Matt, like, hey, dude, like something's up with this kid. Like, you better check these deals. I'm like, okay. Every deal that's coming through, it's like solidified. I'm like, yeah, I mean, everything looks good. And then from that day forward, I don't want to ruin the podcast, but since that day, you've never bageled before, ever. Not one day in your life. I remember you gotten close a few times.
Yeah. So not once in Wisconsin or Michigan. Obviously, like if you do like I did knock half days. I didn't get any sales, like, but I don't really count those as like full day. I'm knocking maybe like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours that you only count that. Um, but like full actual days of knocking, yeah, I never bailed once, which is I don't think anyone in the industry can say that.
Yeah, I met one other person that had the podcast that's really good at sales too. He kind of the same thing. He just never bageled before. And I know he's a stud of a guy too. Even in Florida, when you went down to Florida, you had rough days on there, but you'd always squeeze one out. You know,
Yep. Yeah, Florida's a different animal too, that's for sure. And I was new to that was getting used to the switchover market. Like I wasn't used to having to do all those switchovers. So
right? So, like with that being said, I don't want to deviate too much, but would you rather have a market that's like a regular traditional market or a non-traditional market, like switch over, non-switch over?
I like it's that's a tough question. If you want as a rookie, like when you're first getting used to it, it's nice to have a non-traditional market. Once you get better, I rather have a traditional market because I can switch people over all day.
There's pest control companies everywhere. Yeah, they already believe in they already know what pest control is. You don't have to sell them on pest control. You sell them Y on us.
Yep. Why we're different.
Cool. So you're at your first day. You drop six. Walk us through the rest of the summer, and then we'll go into year two.
Yes. So yeah, dude, I was feeling good after that 6. I was like, "Holy shit, I just made a lot of money." Um, and I went out that rest of that week and sold probably between 3 and 8 a day, honestly. Um, and we went down to Green Bay, Appleton. That's when we first officially opened up down there. Um, had a great experience with us. That was honestly, I look back, I was probably, and probably James can agree, like that was probably our favorite summer together was
Oh, for sure.
2021.
Because there was like all there's all the OGs, right, of the company now that were all together, like looking back, and we had a lot
The
of
thing is we were
fun.
still learning too, like, we didn't have the training like all these other big companies had. Like, we were brand new, just getting our feet wet, and the biggest thing was just getting people to like us and why we're different. Who are these kids in pink? We're just showing up out of nowhere, and, yeah, we took over down there. It was crazy. I remember it was in May. It was May of '21. It was right before Memorial Day weekend. I was like, "I'm gonna go off today, Jonas." It was a
I
Saturday.
remember. Yeah, I have service for you. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, it was nuts. I was just trying to push myself and see how far I could actually how many sales I could get. So I went out, got on the first doors by 9 o'clock. And I remember I was texting in the group chat. It was called Group Me at the time that we had. And I posted all my sales in there. I think I was like the only one. Some of them might have worked in the morning, but I was pretty much the only one out working all day that day. And you were out servicing, and so was Christian, and I appreciate you guys doing that. Um, but yeah, I went out. I think I ended with like 24 in the day. Had like 19 pests and 5 long.
I remember you're like, I'm gonna go break a record today. I'm like, you go break the record, and I'll make sure they get serviced. And so you went and broke the record, and I think I worked till like 10:30. Had freaking spotlights on the side of the houses, and that van we had bought just to get the jobs done. And then the next day I went and finished them up for you.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was only a month in too. I had
Yeah,
only been
which
here for
is the
about a month.
craziest thing ever. Like our first three recruits, well, technically you, James. There are a few other ones in there. Matt was actually recruited by someone else who didn't work for us anymore. But the main guys, all three guys, we didn't even know really, but they were basically three golden door guys in their first year as a team. It's like us four, and we're just slinging deals.
I still don't know. Okay, we've been doing this for 5 years now. How you landed me, James, and Matt?
That's what I mean. Like I've said this on the podcast so many times. Like I recruited James. It took me 6 months. I knew who James was. I knew he'd be talented. I was calling his mom, texting his dad. Took me 6 months to get him. You found me. Matt was brought in through another friend. Matt was selling cars. He was like in between jobs or something. A mutual friend brought him in who ended up not even working here, but Matt stayed. And I just think like God had a plan. Someone was watching over us. Like there was obviously something had to happen for all of us to line the same summer.
Yeah, because what we did was not normal.
No, it's not normal.
You not normal at all.
we had a team of 5 people that were putting on a couple of thousand accounts, which is absolutely. Dude. I remember. I remember we were doing like there was like 6 or 8 of us, and we were doing like 100 a day or whatever. Or maybe not 100 a day. Maybe it was like 60 or 80 a day.
Every day, yeah. Yeah, I'd get, like, 15 to 20, James would get 15 to 20, Matt would get, like, 15 to 20. Like, we would push ourselves, like
Yeah, and you 3 were ultra competitive, and not like I'd say always on the same page or on the same team, but also not on the same page at the same time because there's so much competitiveness. Like you and James are ultra competitive and both be pissed off at the end of the day. I remember we were in our first well, lots of things I can remember, but just like the competitions that we run just with our own team. And then we brought in Nick and Riley, and they set us up with Dan. And then like it was we had a team of like I don't know how many guys, I can't remember, maybe like 8 or 10 guys at that time. Was this summer too? Is this the second
this
summer?
was summer 1, this was summer 1, so we were in Green Bay, we were staying right across from Lambeau
Yeah,
Field.
yeah. So then that's when we had the competition with Dan's team down on Louisville or in where's that where they were? Louisville? Can't remember where they out of.
Yeah, no, that was St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah, yeah. St. Louis. And they had a team of like 20 people. And we had a team of like 12 or 14, and they took like our 10
We didn't have
best.
that, we had, like, 8.
Did we have
8 to
8?
10.
And they had
8 to
like
10.
yeah, and they I think they had close to 20, and they took their top 10 and put them like up against us. And after the first day, they were already quitting. Like they're what the hell is going on with this team up there? And then I remember like those guys being there and like Jonas, whatever you guys are doing, like they're like, and I get this from a lot of people still. They'll come in and visit. Like the culture that you've created here is something I've never felt before. I hear it all the time. Those guys came in, they said the same thing, and we were savages.
Yeah, we had a really tight group. It was, like I said, our best group by far was that 2021 year. Like, we were all, like, super motivated, I was pissed off, like, I was
You're
angry, I
pissed
made a
off at the
stupid
world.
choice. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
pissed off. So, like, I was ready to throw down, I was ready to make money.
You're ready to prove yourself in the world
Fuck
that
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and James pushed me too, like, we pushed each other. If it weren't for James, I don't know, I still was pissed off, so I still would've went out as hard as I went. But we all helped each other push each other to
For
get
sure.
better.
Like even like in the finals when it was like I think it was you and James. I remember watching James at like 9:30 at night in like dark sprinting. Literally no
Yeah, I
segues,
remember you telling me
sprinting.
that. Yeah.
Sprinting to the doors. Like as fast as and he's fast and he's sprinting as fast as he could to talk to more people. Because he's like I'm not going to lose. And we murdered it that summer. And just a bunch of 5 of rookies that, like, have never knocked doors for it. Like, I'd knocked doors the year prior or whatever, knocked doors in Florida, had knocked doors in Arizona, but that was, like, our first full year of knocking doors, and we just murdered it. And I think, like you said, we have a bunch of studs all in the same room pushing each other, and just a small team, and, yeah, we killed it. So some people were stopping at, 5, 6 o'clock getting massages by customers. I won't mention any names, but you're telling James not to tell me because you know I'd be mad.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I remember this. So I was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, I signed up a lady, and I was just trying to support her. She's an old lady, wasn't good looking or nothing like that. Old lady, and I
Uh,
was just trying to support her, because she signed up for pest control. This was part of the deal. So I ended up getting a massage the next day. Only massage I've ever had, honestly. Um,
Pest control, the happy ending.
yeah, no, not that. No, definitely not. No. Um, but yeah, I did that. I remember going out like that summer too, like, I didn't like knocking in the dark, and Jonas came out one night with me.
I do. I still remember the door you're talking about the person that was bringing in groceries.
Yep, you went out with me, we knocked a few, I had pitched a couple. You just wanted to hear what I was doing because you're like, "How the fuck are you doing this?" And, I didn't like knocking in the dark. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and this guy just pulled in his driveway, and he had groceries, and he started bringing them in, you're like, "Let's go up there." It was like
And
10, 10:30 at
you're
night.
like, no.
Yeah, I was like, "Ah, dude, I don't know if I wanna do it, it's getting dark, it's sketchy out." I was like it was a mindset thing at the
Yeah.
time. Um, yeah, we ended up selling the dude.
Yeah. They had ants, remember? Yeah, I think my opening line is like, "Hey, you need help with that?" And he like turned around and smiled, and then I think it was a lady, right? It was a lady, and and then her husband wasn't quite there yet, so we were talking with her, and yeah, they had carpenter ants. Yeah, they had a carpenter ants inside the kitchen or something was going on, but yeah, I still remember that too. But it's just like, like showing you, like talking to the people that are in the industry, and they're knocking early in the mornings, they're knocking late at night. And that's what I've told some people on the podcast. Like when I first started that first summer by myself, I didn't know any better. Like I didn't know like the rules, quote unquote, to door. So like I didn't know like the routine was, they go start at 11:30 and they knock until 9. Like I didn't know that. So I'm driving down to Green Bay and I leave my house like 5 a.m., whatever it was, 6 a.m. to get there for like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm knocking doors by 8 a.m. And I have 3 sales by like 10 o'clock because everyone's home.
Yeah,
I
that's
just didn't know
crazy.
the
Yeah,
rules.
no one even goes out before like 10 o'clock
That's
really
what I
anymore.
mean. But it works. Like, but then you said your first day, like day that you dropped 24, you were on the doors by 9 a.m. You already had 3 sales.
Yeah,
So
my
it
best
works.
time. You remember my best time was always mornings too. Like from year one, I my best like
But
if
you're a
they
morning
give you
person too.
for selling wise, yeah. But I'd always have a couple deals before noon, usually every day.
What
Um,
is it? It's just a coincidence that your last name is Deal.
yeah, I don't know, man. It was just I
It's just
meant to
funny.
be. I was meant to be here. Meant to be in sales and business. I'd asked me 5, 6 years ago or 6 years ago before I met you guys. Like I didn't expect to be in sales at all. Like
Did you ever expect you were going to be in pest control?
no, absolutely not. I didn't even know what pest control was, honestly, until
Right.
I ran into you. I didn't have a clue. Like, yeah, I'd see Orkin or True Green. I kind of knew what True Green was, but I didn't like think about it as like a 25-year-old kid at the
Right.
time.
Right. So that first summer, I mean, we must have eaten pizza damn near every night and wings.
Oh,
Like I still remember
Domino's,
Domino's in the
lots a lot,
hotel,
Domino's, wings,
chicken
pizza.
wings. No, my brother was around then.
Yeah, I love working with Jeremy.
My Matt's stupid little chicken wing trick, like the dumbest things that we would do.
Yeah, my nickname was Dino Nuggy that year. That was
I
my nickname.
forgot
Matt came
about
up
that.
with that too.
I forgot about
Because I
that.
liked my boneless wings and I wasn't a real man because I ate boneless wings.
You and James both.
Yeah, that's why he called me Dino Nuggy. But
That's funny.
well, I did learn something from that. There's a way to actually eat a real chicken wing. Like that,
There is
I
a
don't know
way.
I know how to do it now. If I had one, I'd show you. But it's
It's funny. But yeah, it was definitely a good summer.
Milwaukee Bucks won the championship that year, dude. Like
Oh, that's
that
right.
was our
Yeah.
okay. So that year we were still like
Not we,
not
you.
you, not
Yeah.
you, but us. Us as sales reps under you. You're the only one that didn't drink. But I didn't drink much. It was more everyone else. But I did a few times. But when I did, like yeah, I'm goofy when I drink. Like when the Bucks won the championship, dude, I was
We were all at the
out in
bar.
Lambeau Field, yeah, at the bar, partying, jumping on tables,
Which bar
dancing.
was
Like
that? It's not Anduzzi, it was the other one.
the oh annoying Anduzzi's. What are the other ones there?
Stadium View?
Stadium View, yes. Yeah, that was a great year.
Yeah, the Bucks won. Yeah.
The Bucks won the championship, dude. I wasn't even a Bucks fan, but I was just
But was a
feeling the
Wisconsin
vibes.
fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously they were supporting our business, so I kind of became a Packers Bucks fan that year.
Didn't like Devin end up at someone's house?
I don't even Devin. Who knows what Devin did? That was a different time, but that wasn't that night. Yeah. Um.
There's so
But yeah,
many stories that I don't know.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened. But for the most part, I was pretty disciplined for most nights. Like I didn't drink. Like we played a lot of beer pong. It was a lot of golfing, beer pong. I remember get to go to watch the Packers in the morning practice. I thought that was badass. Got to sign up. I was the first one to actually sign up a Packer player. Elton Jenkins. He's still on the Packers to this
Yep.
day.
Mhm.
Um,
I serviced that one too.
I, yep. I remember calling you. I remember being nervous. I was like, dude, I'm about to go knock this guy's house. He's home. And ended up selling him and signing him up. And I ended up, shoot, we signed up a lot of Packers and coaches. Matt LaFleur, the head coach. Mike McCarthy, ex-head coach.
All still clients, which is cool.
Yep.
It's a cool thing about like it's a big town. Like probably not to most people that are listening. It's still a small town, but bigger than where I'm from and where you
Yeah,
were
it's like a
from.
big suburb. Yeah,
It
it's like a
is.
cute
It's
suburb.
200,000 people or 300,000 people with Appleton all included. It's decently sized, but then there's a pro football team there. So like, and none of them are like closed door, like behind gates, other than Rogers. This is the only house that you can't get to. But like Matt's house, wide open, you can get to it. All their players just live in normal houses.
Hmm.
It was pretty cool. Like, so like your technicians go get to meet like pro athletes and superstar, which is super cool, you know?
Yeah. It was fun. It was motivating to actually, say, "Hey, we take care of these players," and having their phone numbers, like, I don't know if that was cool to have Matt LaFleur's phone number, Elton Jenkins, let's text, and I'm like, "Wow, I actually
Yeah.
can text these people,"
Yeah.
making
It was
sure
really
everything's all
cool.
good
I
with
get a
them.
text message, you know, from one of the players who I ended up becoming good friends with, which was cool. You know what I mean?
AJ
He's
Dillon.
and he's inviting me out to events and coming to hang out. Like we did some content with him. Yeah, it was super cool, you know.
Yeah, that was more year 2. Yeah, that was year 2. But yeah, after year 1, I don't remember the exact number, but I was around 550,000 service revenue, and we didn't even know what a golden door was, so I didn't until pretty much afterwards.
And this is literally our first summer ever knocking doors,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
just crazy. You talk to most people and like 550 is still a big number. Still like I mean, it's a massive number.
I know it's jumped up to
One
750 this year, but,
yeah,
like,
right.
2021, it was at 500 or 550 or something like
Yeah.
that.
But again, like it was our first we're all rookies. Like we had no training. Like we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were just doing it. That was fun. And then yeah, so then year two is kind of like things started coming together, started building a little bit of team.
Yeah, it was our first year recruiting. So, like, me and you were just learning how to recruit. So we actually had Dan fly. I mean, we flew out to Utah. So obviously, that's where everything started for pest control. It feels like is Utah. So that's where we learned how to recruit. And I remember going out there a couple times with you, and that's I got to bring that back home. I got to teach James and everybody else. I remember going to Stevens Point, and that's where we met Ben and the other Dylan and quite a few other studs that we have that are currently still with us or in owners now. I have a picture with Ben on with his mask I found the other day. Like COVID, because the COVID was still a thing.
Yeah.
They make you wear masks at schools, but yeah, I have a
I
picture.
can't
Like,
wait to talk about Ben. Ben his first summer. I don't think he had 50 sales the entire year, but he was like the happiest kid in the world. And I remember in the offseason, I'm like, there is zero chance this kid comes back.
yeah, he came back and he's
He
still
came
here,
back and he
and
just did. I remember
he's an owner.
his second year, he had turned into a machine. I was like, it was a totally different kid, but it's that first year.
Him
It's
and
a
I
big
were both.
learning curve. Yeah, big learning curve for both of them. It's a big learning curve for everyone your first year, you know. Um, and yeah, they just said he had 50 sales his entire year, maybe 50. And I think it was the first 2 weeks he was already broke 50, which is really cool. But I remember he spent a lot of time in the off season learning from like James, learning from just a bunch of people just talking to him and talking to me a lot. And then he hit the gym hard too. Like he came back a lot bigger, a lot stronger, like mentally. Like, yeah, he was in a different place. It was cool to see the transformation. Now to see where they're at today is obviously awesome. I think year two, though, we started planning for the future, what a little bit more of what it would look like for you. You know what I mean? And obviously, like we'll tell the story a little bit further ahead because it happened a lot faster than we would hoped it would have. You know?
Yeah, year 2 was crazy. It was dream team versus A team. So I was dream team, James's team was A team, and it we really pushed each other. I had a blast. It was fun. We each probably had ten dudes on our each team.
Yeah, and I gave you guys a lot more autonomy to go run your own teams. I wasn't there as much as
That's when I had to step up. That's when I became the leader. I was already a leader, but like that's when I really had to step up with James. Like I wasn't used to running morning meetings. Like,
yeah. And again, I did it the whole first year, and then it's like, okay, now I need to get these guys to start stepping up a little bit. And I gave you guys a little bit more autonomy, a little bit of freedom to go start building your own teams and your own success. So I'd show up once or twice a week rather than running every single day, you know? And you guys took the bull by the horns and you guys did obviously a great job. Um, we had lots of time talking on the phone for sure.
yeah, it was me and James didn't sell as much like we did year 1 because we were more focused on helping our guys and our team out than actually being able to perform. That's the one thing is when you do move up, become a team leader, manager, like your numbers are gonna go a little bit down because you're trying to help your guys, you're teaching them, you're recruiting, you're going out knocking doors with them, helping them close a deal. Yeah, I've given quite a few sales away just because I like to help other people out too.
Yeah,
So
because you show them those early quick wins, get them bought in, show them quick success. And I heard a lot of people say like they'll go try to knock doors and they do it for a while and they quit because they're not good at it. But then they want to hire someone else to come in and run. It doesn't quite work that way. Like in my opinion, and I could be wrong. Like If you can't train and show someone how to close a deal and show them some quick wins and keep them on the doors making money, like, it's really tough to build a team. It'll be really hard for you to build a team. If you can't go out there and close the deal yourself, you're gonna struggle to keep someone.
I agree. You gotta lead from the front. You have to be out there. Um, like I'm still out there knocking as today. Like, do I technically need to? No. Would I want to? I love doing it.
Yeah, you're really, really good at. You're a very good trainer. Yeah. I think that's the only argument that you and I ever had was year 2.
No, it was year one. That was year
Was
one
that year
within the
1?
first couple months. That
Was it?
I've never got. Oh, the listeners are like, "What the fuck?" It was something stupid.
It was really
So me and
stupid.
Jonas almost threw down. Let's just put it that way. It was over like I had to pick up Ryan or Hunter or someone, and I was late, and you got mad at me for being late, and you kind of called me out in front of everyone. So it pissed me off. I was already pissed off because I was running late, and I just
Yeah,
lost my temper. And then I
in
remember
front of
Jeremy having to
everyone.
separate us from like fighting. That was stupid of me for like freaking out.
I remember you came in, you were just hot.
Oh, I was pissed, dude. Yeah, and I've controlled a lot of my, my temper
I
and
was
anger
pretty like
since. And
I'm not a yeller, you know that. I'm not a yeller. Just not. It's just not my leading style. But you're all up in my grill, um, and then I took it outside and I said, hey, like you can get mad. We're gonna have disagreements. Just don't disrespect me in front of the team like that ever again. And honestly, other than that, we've never. I think it's the only argument. I think that's the only argument we've ever had. Are we always gonna agree on everything? No.
no, no, maybe a few phone call like little situations, but nothing crazy like that. I remember like you having to separate me and Devin. So like if you're a door to door rep and you're listening to this, like you understand like when someone you already been out in the neighborhood all day and you put on like 10 accounts and then someone tries to go knock one of your doors and you're selling your neighborhood, it kind of puts a fuel to your fire. They just don't do that. You don't step on toes. And Jonas like told Devin to go do it, and I let up Devin, and then Jonas kind of let up me. Um, but besides that, you know, we haven't really.
Because that's what everyone always asks me, like, well, they always say, well, you can't, it's just too hard having a business partner. I'm like, you can't do this shit on your own. If you want to build something massive, you got to pour into the people, give them some autonomy, go do their own thing, like guide them along the way. Obviously, my leadership style, and I got to keep getting better, leading you guys forward. But I love having business partners. I just do. Like, of course, things happen. It's not always perfect. You know that. I know that. But for the most part, 95% of the time, it's been awesome.
Yeah, I've enjoyed. I'd say 95% of it. Honestly, obviously, you're gonna have a few bad days when a truck, your motor blows up, or
That's just the cost of doing business. You know what I mean? But if 3% of your month are bad days and you have 3 bad days, like who cares? Or 10% of your month is bad days and that's 3 days a month. Like everyone, like compared to most people, like they have way more bad days than good days. So I feel like we're doing really good life. Really good. We all live good lives. Like it's been fun for sure. Okay, so let's fast forward end of year 2. What happens?
end of year two. So yeah, end of year two was a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we're obviously gonna leave out of this podcast, but we were just trying to make it quick as possible because we're already 50 minutes in.
Yeah, it goes fast, doesn't it? So at this point, I just lose my dad.
So yeah. So I found out my mom got her cancer came back. Um, that was in I want to say August. I found out of 2022. Okay, so I was very emotional. I remember having that morning meeting, like how emotional I was that
I
morning,
do too. I remember.
and I
I think
couldn't
everyone
even.
is emotional.
Yeah, finding that out again. So I finished like my month up there in Green Bay, Appleton, finished out the year. Um, I We ended up partnering up as our first actual business partner. So me and
Yeah,
Jonas, we've
and
been
that's how
splitting
it was
up.
like. Almost like it was like wasn't forced upon us, but I still remember that conversation. I'm like, Dylan, whatever you do, I just lost my dad. I'm like, we're gonna move you down there. We're gonna figure this out. Go spend as much time with her as you possibly can.
Yep. And I moved down there of October 2022. I was coming back and forth back home to the UP,
Yeah,
but I
because
was
your
full time
Sarah and the
down there.
girls were still there. Yeah,
Yep, my family's up there. Um, but I was living with my mom from December of 22 until she passed in May of 2023. Um, that was a very emotional time. Especially like you losing your dad like a couple months before that. It was super emotional for you and also for me. And then obviously trying to open up a business during that time too. It wasn't easy. Like I remember I had 10 recruits showing up the next day. My mom died May 7th of 23. I had 10 recruits showing up May 8th of 23. And we had to have Cody come down to help run it. And thank you, Cody, if you listen to this. Like, um, yeah, it was a very stressful time. But I honestly, I'm glad I was able to spend the last 5, 6 months of my mom's life and being able to help her out, like being her caretaker, helping.
I remember you'd call and you'd be like, dude, I just can't do anything today. Like, I just can't get indoors. Like, dude, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
That all that can wait. Like, put all that on pause. Like, we're here to support you, whatever we need to do. Like, and then I remember she passed and at the funeral, I drove down, hung out for a few hours. I didn't need to stay too long because I had to get back home. But
yeah, that was pretty impressive. You drove like 7 hours, 6, 7 hours to my mom's, you know, funeral stuff. So I appreciate that too. And I know I was there for your dad's stuff there too.
yeah, like I said, that's just what you do for each other. That's just like as much as it's the business, it's more of
A
like a
family
family.
thing.
It is, and
Hmm.
we're all so close. Like anything ever happens, we're always there to support each other, and that's why we've done so well. Like the bond is so strong. Like I trust you, you trust me, no matter what. So like I always say, like if you want to be able to be in a not be in a room, and if someone says something bad about you, like your team will stick up for you, and you guys are those people. Like if I walked away and someone talked shit, like you guys be the first one to get in their face, and I just know that that's insane with me for you guys. Like I just know, like I surrounded myself with really good people. But yeah, so that was how we got down to Grand Rapids, but it's kind of always the goal to get you there.
Yeah, we were planning on opening up anyways. It just kind of happened sooner than quicker because I didn't expect my mom to get cancer and have it come back, and then like 6 months later, yeah, I didn't expect her to be gone like that. It all happened so fast. Like it was a lot. So I didn't really start until like really May of 23. I went out a couple times here and there, put on some accounts. Recruited with James that year, and then yeah, ended up opening up May. Yeah, really May of 23 is like my first actual month. Um, and then James opened up Stevens Point right around that time too.
Yeah. I mean, like in a perfect world, it depends how you look at it. Like, obviously, I would rather have kept the team and built the main office bigger, but it just didn't happen that way. Everything happens for a reason. And so, yeah, but that's exactly how we expanded our footprint. Like it wasn't supposed to happen the way we wanted it to happen. I don't think it wasn't the plan, but we executed what we needed to, and it worked
Yeah, it
out.
worked out
Like
great.
obviously, you moved the whole family down there. Like Sarah's there, the girls are there. Your older daughter, your oldest daughter, just graduated. She moved down there. It's like the whole family's back together. You're
Yeah, the first
crushing
year,
it
the
in
first year they
business.
weren't
Like
they weren't down here. The
right,
first year I was going back and forth a lot
yeah,
and running the
which is
team.
hard.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Like it takes a lot of work and mental toughness to get through all that. Like losing your mom, running the business, going back home 6, 7 hours away on the weekends to go see the girls. Like it wasn't easy, and trying to be there for all your recruits too because
And this is what most normal people don't see. All they see is you after 3 to 5 years and you run a successful company. They're like, oh yeah, it must be nice. Like they have no
they have no
idea
idea.
of how
Yeah,
much work and dedication and heart and grit that it takes. Like you said, the mental toughness of driving 7 hours back and forth to visit your girls on the weekends because they can't be down there because you're working. Like,
because they're in school, they have to work. My Sarah had to work too.
yeah, it's just hard as hell. And like most people can do it. But it's the ones who that show up every single day. They're consistent. They work through their shit. They show up. They do their job. They execute. Are the ones that win. And you're a prime example of that person.
And I appreciate that. And I say after our first year, I don't remember what the exact number was, but I want to say we finished around like 6 to 700,000 our first year. Obviously, it wasn't like our greatest year, but obviously, I was mentally dealing with a lot of struggles to where, losing a mom, it's not easy to be in the doors. I still finished like around 290, 300,000 service revenue, and that's still very impressive for going out by myself and getting that, and having a team. Wasn't the greatest team, but we still had a lot of fun,
But you're also learning a lot, and we're coming down
learned a
there,
lot.
you know.
Yeah, different market too. So Grand Rapids was the hardest market that we had been in yet. So there was a lot more. We had Green Egg, Eco Shield just opened up here. They had teams of freaking 60, 70 guys, Green X 60, 70 guys, Active 60, 70 guys, Proof
They're
had a team of
literally
20.
everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, so like it was a whole new ball game for us in our first year in an actual real saturated market. And yeah, it taught me a lot and I don't regret
Like
it.
in just thinking through it, like, if it was supposed to be someone, anyone, it was supposed to be you. And that's just how I look at it, like, looking back to the first year or 2, like, with switchovers and the person who always put up solid accounts with the most revenue because your deals are always massive, um, it was meant to be you down there. Like, of all the people that we had, it was meant to be you. And I still believe that. Like, now you go down there and you still crush, like, sending you to Florida probably paid off because you had to go to Grand Rapids that following year. So it's all those little things that added up, over time. It's like compounding interest of time and dedication on the doors and all the deals there, and then you go to a new market and you still did great. And now obviously you guys are crushing it. You're running a successful business down there, which is fun. It's like it's so awesome. People ask me like, "What's the favorite part of your job?" This is it right here, watching you guys win at this point.
Yeah, watching other people grow. Like my favorite thing is like seeing where I don't need to bring I guess I can bring up other people, but watching what Devin did from year 1 to where he's at now. To watch what Micah did year 1 to where he's at now, because both these kids had 0 experience.
And like the life that they came from was not a good life.
Yeah, and, like, helping them support I was even helping them support them to get to where they are now, and, like, now they're a top 5 sales rep, Devin's a top 3 sales rep, Micah's in the top 10, like, it's awesome to see that, like, most people would have given up on them, but, like, I saw potential in them and, we kept
I think Devin's been fired the most of
yeah,
everyone.
well, besides Devin, yeah, but he means well at the end of the
He
day.
does. Great heart. I agree. That's why we've kept him around. We know he means well. He just he's just
He's the
you'd have to
upsell
know him.
king.
He's the upsell king. Hey, but hey, if those sales guys want to leave some room for him to work his magic, then I guess that's their own fault. They should have upsold the next thing.
Yep, and then, yeah, like, obviously Devin, um, even, like, your best guys like that can outperform anybody. Sometimes, you have to teach them a lesson. I had to fire my best guy because he wasn't selling correctly and I was dealing with a lot of the backlash.
For sure. And then same thing with like when he like uh I should have taken my own advice with my brother, but I promised my dad I would give my brother a chance. Good guy, like you said, you like work with him, good dude. But I had to let go of my brother, which it's not always easy, but it's just a business decision that I have to make. And when you wanted to hire your friend, the technician friend,
Yeah, you can say Zach. I mean, still
no
wish
last
nothing but the
names,
best for him. Yeah.
yeah. But I told you from day one not to do it. Like it just won't end well. Like I promise you, don't hire friends, don't hire family. And every situation is different. So I'm not saying don't ever hire a friend. Maybe that was a bad thing to say. Every situation is a little bit different. So I just said it just, as you know, it didn't end well. But the way that he came into the company, and we don't have to say what happened, but there was red flags from the beginning. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. Like, you guys shouldn't do that, right? You know the story I'm talking about. And so there was red flags there for me from the beginning. And although he did a lot, like he really did a lot for you for the first year. And then it just didn't work out the second year. Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him. He brought
Yeah,
a
he's
lot of
great at what he does. Yeah,
yeah,
I
he brought a
applaud
lot
him.
of
He's
great
really
assets to the
knowledgeable.
team. Yeah, like a really good asset to the team, which is definitely what you needed at that time. So everyone has their place, in your life uh, during certain situations. So that was just the first year, which worked out really good. Um, Now you have what are your 3 years in now?
Yeah, so after year 3, so 2023, yeah, we
Now
finished around
you're going on your third location. You don't really have to put
Yeah,
out
no,
numbers, but
not yeah, okay. So we're go year 2024, so 24 was last year. Had a solid team, did really well. We're still, we're still still in Grand Rapids. Did really well. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot. And then come this coming year, like I wanted to concentrate more on growing
the other
the
two
business
locations.
and
Yeah.
yep, well, really four technically.
Right, right. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We can't drop them on the podcast yet, quite yet, but we have some really cool stuff coming.
Yeah. So yeah, like this year I wanted to focus more on myself instead of like helping out all the rookies all the time because it slowed me down, obviously, how much I can do. And I just went out and I crushed it this year. Um, I still led the company, 5 years in, 6 years in now. And
And it's the same two people on the top. The same two people on the tops. If same, almost same three people on the top from day one, which is crazy. Still, that's the main three people holding down for it. Like how like you said from the beginning, like those first three people, we've had hundreds of people coming through there are still at the top. The same three people, you, Matt, and James, just murdering it still. It's pretty cool. And we've had some killers. Like
yeah, like Jackson's in phenomenal. Cameron, Justin.
yeah, obviously Justin's a beast. Yeah, Cam's a beast for sure. There's no doubt about it. We have some killers, Devin. But it's the same three people on the top, and doesn't matter which market you put them in, they're gonna sell. They'll figure it out. And it's funny because you all sell different.
Yeah, we all have different styles of selling. I hard close like crazy.
You
Um,
do.
Just like assuming the sale's the biggest. Yeah, it's a nice way. It's not like I'm like forcing someone to do it.
Right. It's not like Grant Cardone where like force people down their throat. It's not like that.
No, no, not at all. I just connect with people a lot better than most kids. Like with my experience in the military, from working with assholes in the Department of Corrections to having family, kids, being a Boy Scout. Everything's led up to like who I am now. So I can connect with a lot of people at the door compared to like 18 to 24-year-olds. They're still trying to figure out life. If I put myself in my 18-year-old shoes, like I don't think I would have been where I was now. I would have had a head start, but a lot of that life experience helped to who I am now. So I just can relate to a lot of people, and people buy off emotion, and they like you. They'll listen to you. Once they listen to you, they believe in you. Once they believe in you, they'll buy from you.
Yeah, just gotta connect on with the people in the door. It's not, as you and I know, we can all say the same exact thing for the most part. It's not even so much as what you say, because we can all say the same script. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody can say the same script. It's just you have to, not just try to sell them, get them to like you. Talk about them. You got to talk about them. Ice break. Make it about them, not about you.
Right. Cool. I know we have to wrap up soon because I got to roll to National Honor Society today, but I got to be there in 45 minutes. So I got a few minutes left. For the listeners, what are your goals for the next? I know what they are, but the next 3 to 5 years, what are you thinking?
Next 3 to 5 years. So obviously, we just opened up Detroit this past year, so that's huge. Same, we're in the process of two other locations, or they're already in the works. One of them's already been open. It's just not like we've been running it through Grand Rapids. Um,
And we got a new one coming on the pipeline for next year.
yep. So my goal. So technically, I'm at like four locations right now. My goal in 3 years is to have at least another two more. Say 3 years. So by 3 year, I'll be at six, and then five, probably another two after that. Just go two every couple of years, just because we want to grow those
Go with the
locations before
leadership
we get.
team. Yeah,
Yes,
agreed.
because we've obviously learned if we grow too quickly without leadership, we start losing that leadership in certain locations too.
Yep, for sure. And it's a learning curve for all of us, as we change a lot. I mean, it feels like every year that we start, which most people that are listening to this, we're constantly improving, like every day, every day, every day. And it's like when we start the next year, it's like a brand new company again, which is really, really cool. We're always just adding new things, taking away things, not even necessarily the service part, but the business side of things.
Yeah.
What about your personal goals? I know one thing that you did this year was really cool. Um, as you know, me, I thought about personal development. You went and did like a retreat for yourself,
Yeah,
which is really
for like
cool.
yeah, I spent some money to invest in myself. Um,
And you reached out to me and you asked, like, "Hey, is it okay?" I'm like, "Don't like." Though there's some things like, and then you guys are all great about. Anytime anyone wants to spend money, like they reach out to me, say, "Hey, is this okay? Is it approved?" And I would never say no to something like that ever. You know that.
yeah, yeah, I invested in myself too mentally. It was like a course that a lot of sales reps are in and owners that are in. We go to this course and just, learn about like certain struggles that you're mentally dealing with. Like you didn't really realize what it's about, but it's honestly helped me tremendously, especially with my relationship back at home with Sarah. Big thing is like I want to get married. That's like a huge thing too. Like we've been together for 9 years, almost 10 years, and like I think it's time. Obviously, we've been together a long time.
Are you sure you're feeling okay?
Huh? Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
just teasing.
No.
I'm just
Yeah.
teasing.
Becoming a stepdad at the age of like 22. I'm 32 now, and having kids, my own kids too. It's made me grow up a lot and realize a lot about stuff in life. Um, yeah, I just want to be healthy. Be there for be involved in all my kids' sports.
Did you ever think that you'd be where you're at today?
Fuck no. Hell
Like,
no.
it gives me the chills. Like it's just so cool to see.
What's awesome is like I grew up as a poor kid. Like I was out on my spring breaks cutting wood with my dad because we had a wood stove growing up, and I'd spend my spring breaks out there and like cut a lot of wood. And like I didn't have money, so like the fact that I'm able to like provide for my family without asking anyone for money, and like getting my daughter enrolled in like travel soccer because we didn't have the money to do that as a kid, and that stuff isn't cheap. I'm happy that I'm able to do that for my own kids because I didn't have that opportunity growing up, and if it weren't for you and Pest Badger and stuff, like I would have never had that opportunity, and I truly appreciate everything you've done, Jonas, because I wouldn't be here without you.
I appreciate it too. You're a stud. Glad to call you my friend, business partner, like so on and so forth. It's been a fun 5 years, and the future looks bright for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, man. There's a lot more to do, a lot more.
Yeah, we're just getting started, which is the best part.
Yeah, and if people don't know who we are yet, they will soon.
Yeah, we're making a statement, which is fun, and which when you're making a statement brings a lot of things that aren't fun too, but it's all worth it.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you, and I got to run.
Thanks for
Thanks
having
for
me on,
finally
man.
showing up.
Yeah, dude, it's been a good
Was
year
it
and a
that
half since
bad?
you've been. No,
Yeah, pretty easy. Like I said, just like you and I talking and have a conversation at the dinner table, which we've done a million times. All right, buddy. Well, I'll chat with you later.
sounds good, brother. I'll catch you later.
Peace. Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. We don't charge any money for this show, but the podcast isn't free. Please like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app. This makes a huge difference for us. If you have any specific questions about your business or your personal life that you'd like answered by me or any of my podcast guests, please send an email to info@pestcontrolmillionaire.com. And if you want to get in touch with me about our marketing class, we do a live version every Thursday night. Check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one.